Good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Farhana Sheikh. The start of the academic year will revert to January in 2026, says Education Minister Fadli Nasiri. The ministry has initiated efforts to bring forward the 2024 to 2025 academic session to ensure the school calendar for 2026 can begin in January.
KPM akan melihat kepada keperluan dan kesesuaian penyediaan kalender akademik untuk tahun seterusnya bagi memastikan pengajaran dan pembelajaran dapat dilaksanakan secara optimum, khususnya tempoh pembelajaran sebanyak 32 hingga 36 minggu yang diperlukan untuk menyelesaikan keseluruhan kurikulum persekolahan setahun. KPM juga telah melakukan penjajaran kepada jadual peperiksaan awam agar ia selari dengan perubahan kalender akademik persekolahan.
The start of the school calendar was changed from January to March in 2022 after the 2021 school session was extended in response to disruptions due to the pandemic and lockdowns.
The government will streamline conflicting regulations regarding the use of the word Allah by non-Muslims. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this is so that the regulations will be in line with an earlier decision by the Conference of Rulers that Allah cannot be used by non-Muslims in the peninsula, while conditional use is permitted for non-Muslims in Sabah and Sarawak. Anwar also said the decision to withdraw the appeal in the Jail Island case was made with the consent of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and after consulting with state Islamic councils.
Maka keputusan yang dibuat atas pandangan Peguam Negara dan serta dirujuk kepada Yang di-Pertuan Agong ialah memperkemaskan, kalau tidak kita buat rayuan, kes bangkit lagi kerana ada kecanggahan. Jadi sebab itu kita tamatkan dengan pindah semua peraturan supaya jelas tidak ada kes yang boleh dibawa mahkamah.
He added that all proposed amendments to the current regulations will be presented to the Conference of Rulers during its next sitting in July. Malaysia has almost achieved its target of having 30% women leaders in the top 100 public listed companies. Women, Family and Community Development Minister Datuk Seri Nancy Shukri says this is a big improvement from just 14% in 2016.
Terdapat peningkatan yang ketara telah ditunjukkan. Sebagai perbandingan, statistik pada tahun 2016 menunjukkan hanya 14% PLC melepasi sasaran ini. Manakala berdasarkan laporan Suruhanjaya Security bertarikh 1 April 2023, bilangan ini telah meningkat kepada 29.7%, iaitu hanya kurang 2 kerusi untuk mencapai sasaran 30%.
Nancy said her ministry had outlined strategies to achieve the target, such as improving policies to create a conducive working environment for women, creating more opportunities and access for women in the workforce, as well as increasing awareness on the subject. Separately, she also cautioned that the target of having 30% women in the Dewan Rakyat might not materialize soon if both sides of the political divide do not work towards this goal. There are currently 30 women MPs in Parliament, which is 13.5% of the 222 seats.
Several provisions of the law will be studied to prevent scalping in Malaysia, according to Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fazil. This after the government received many complaints regarding the reselling of tickets at staggering prices to the British rock band Coldplay's concert.
Memang pada waktu ini di Malaysia kita belum ada undang-undang yang bersifat anti ulat tiket. Dan oleh sebab itu kita akan teliti bersama dengan kementerian-kementerian yang lain yang mungkin menganjurkan aktiviti program yang ada aspek penjualan tiket sama ada secara online ataupun tidak, dan melihat apa peruntukan undang-undang yang perlu diwujudkan untuk mengelak masalah scalping ataupun ulat tiket ini daripada berulang di masa depan.
The government, he said, will also learn from countries like the United States and Australia, where there are agencies to handle scalping incidents. On the other hand, Fahmi also revealed from his meeting with organizer Live Nation Malaysia that e-tickets for the Coldplay concert have yet to be released. Hence, anyone who has bought tickets from online sellers with tickets also sent should lodge a report with the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry. Fahmi said, according to Live Nation, 71,000 tickets were put up for sale, with 26,000 buyers successfully making transaction, but they could not pinpoint which buyers were bots and which ones were actual people. The decision to move away from a 5G single wholesale network will reduce the financial implications for the government. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this is due to the involvement of telecommunication companies in their transition to the dual network.
Implikasi kerajaan kepada kerajaan dikurangkan besar kerana penglibatan telco. Dan syarat yang kedua yang ketat ialah harga kepada pengguna mestilah di paras yang rendah seperti mana kita pastikan ditetapkan di bawah peraturan DNB.
Anwar explained that the government has set the terms for all telcos to use the existing structures by DNB until 80% of the network is completed. Once the terms have been agreed with the usage of the same facilities, the telcos must also invest for better connectivity and security. On May 3rd, Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fazil said DNB will continue to roll out the 5G network infrastructure in Malaysia until 80% coverage is achieved by the end of this year, before introducing the dual network system. Attractive investment policies and strategies are needed to push the transition to green energy in Malaysia and the region. Natural Resources, Environment and Climate Change Minister Nik Nazmi Ahmad says this includes efforts to facilitate renewable energy adoption in sectors like manufacturing and transportation.
On Malaysia's part, the kickstarting of cross-border renewable energy trading will also see an expansion of our generation and storage capacity. We see this in turn as contributing towards the realization of the long-awaited ASEAN power grid, which Malaysia can potentially be at the center of. The only limits really are our imaginations and willingness to work together.
We will go for a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Sering menggaya dan menyikat menyebabkan rambut gugur. Lupakan rambut gugur. Dove Hair Boost Nourishment Baharu. Shampoo bertekstur ringan dengan micellar membersih akar rambut dan kalsium kompleks menguatkan rambut untuk 10 kali kurang rambut gugur. Dove Baharu.
Engkau adalah yang terunggul. Apabila kau hidup untuk detik gemilang ni, kau sedia untuk menggalah segala bebanan dan bertekad untuk menjadi harapan untuk semua.
Welcome back. Households with high electricity consumption will no longer enjoy government subsidies as they tend to belong to the T20 group. However, what can those in the lower income bracket do if their households have higher than average electricity consumption? Economist Professor Dr. Jeffrey Williams weighs in.
The T20 group tend to use the highest amounts because they have the biggest houses. And they tend to have more electrical appliances, particularly air conditioning. So if you were to look at households which were using more than 600 kilowatts a month, and you were to completely remove the subsidy for people in that group because they have a high use of electricity, the government can save almost 2 billion ringgit. Just on that group. And of course, generally speaking, those will be the T20 people. Now, of course, there will be some large families in lower income groups. and they might have high electricity usage because they're large. They might have extra children, or they might have parents or grandparents living with them, and so they're using electricity during the whole of the day. So it is the case that there might be some people in lower income groups that have high electricity bills, but the idea would be that they would be identified separately, and then you would give them some sort of discount separately. Perhaps they could apply separately and say, we are in a low income group, but we have a big family, and that's why our bill is high.
On to the international front, 7 people, including 4 children, were killed when a roof over a school sports field collapsed in a storm in Thailand. Officials said the children, aged between 6 and 13, were playing in the open-sided building at a school in Pichit province, watched by a number of spectators. The storm struck around 6:30 p.m. local time when heavy rain and high winds caused the roof to topple. The fatally injured adults were 2 parents and a janitor. Meanwhile, 18 people were injured and remained in 2 hospitals for treatment. A 6-year-old boy was rushed to the hospital but died of his injuries. The storm also damaged several houses. Thailand enters monsoon season with heavy rain forecast for much of the country in the coming days. TikTok has filed a suit in the U.S. federal court to prevent the state of Montana from enforcing a ban on the application. It says the ban, set to start in 2024, violates Americans' First Amendment rights to free speech.
TikTok argued that Montana overstepped its authority by involving itself in matters related to users' data and national security, which fall under the purview of the federal government. It also said the state's unprecedented measures were based on unfounded speculation. The lawsuit comes after Montana last week became the first U.S. state to pass a sweeping ban on the Chinese-owned video sharing platform. Once the ban takes effect, it will be illegal for app stores to offer TikTok, but existing users will not be prohibited from using the app. TikTok has faced scrutiny from authorities worldwide due to concerns over data privacy and its alleged ties to the Chinese government. The social media platform is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, which has repeatedly denied it is controlled by the government in China.
In other news, WhatsApp will grant users one of its most awaited features, the ability to edit messages. The messaging app says messages can be edited for up to 15 minutes after being sent, in a move that will see it match a feature offered by competitors like Telegram and Signal.
In a blog post, WhatsApp said the feature will be made available to its 2 billion users in the coming weeks. Edited messages will be tagged as edited, so recipients are aware that the content has been changed. However, they will not be shown how the message has been tweaked over time. The instant messaging service is part of technology giant Meta, which also owns Facebook and Instagram. The edit function was introduced by Facebook almost a decade ago. Around that time, Facebook revealed that more than half its users access the site on mobile phones, which are more prone to typing errors. Last year, Elon Musk's social media platform Twitter said it was giving its paying subscribers the ability to edit their tweets.
That wraps up AWANI Tonight. I'm Fina Sheh. Thank you for watching.